Especial, como decís, seguramente mi último mundial, mi última oportunidad de conseguir ese gran sueño que tengo y que todos queremos.
No player in the history of football has ever defended the World Cup title. Not Pelé, not Ronaldo, not Zidane, nobody. The last nation to even come close was Brazil in 1962. That is 64 years ago. Since then, every single defending champion has failed. 6 tournaments in a row, without exception. Now Argentina are next. And walking into that fire is a 38-year-old man the world has already crowned. A man who, by every law of football, should be retired, should be watching from a sofa, should be letting the young ones carry the flag. But Lionel Messi has never once done what he should.
He absolutely is. I mean, one of the greatest players to have ever played the game. He comes into the tournament with great form for Paris Saint-Germain, with great form for Argentina. This Argentina team are something, and this guy here, he's the leader. I don't think a lot of people necessarily see him as a leader.
In June of 1987, a boy was born in Rosario, Argentina, who would go on to break every record this sport has ever known. 8 Ballon d'Or awards, more than any human being alive. Over 750 career goals. The only player in history to score in a World Cup group stage, round of 16, quarterfinal, semifinal, and final, all in the same tournament. A man so good, so relentlessly, impossibly good, that the sport essentially ran out of ways to measure him. But there was one thing missing, the one thing that haunted him for 2 decades, the World Cup. Across 4 tournaments in 20 years, the heartbreak was relentless. In 2006, a teenage Messi scored his first World Cup goal, full of promise, full of fire. In 2010, Argentina went out in the quarterfinals. In 2014, they reached the final in Brazil and lost to a single German goal in extra time. Messi stood on that Maracana pitch, the golden ball in his hands, runner-up. And in 2018, they crashed out in the round of 16. Each time, the trophy stayed out of reach. But the numbers never lied. In 26 World Cup appearances across those 4 tournaments, Messi recorded 13 goals and 8 assists, more goal contributions than any player in World Cup history since 1966. He created more chances than anyone, won more Player of the Match awards than anyone. He gave everything, and still it wasn't enough, until Qatar.
Everybody is getting confidence. Playing with Messi makes you feel like you can do anything.
Lionel Messi gave to Argentina every single thing that they needed to get through this time.
In 2022, at 35 years old, an age when most footballers have long retired, Messi played every single minute of Argentina's campaign. 690 minutes, 7 goals, 3 assists. He became the first player in history to score in the group stage, the round of 16, the quarterfinal, the semifinal, and the final of the same tournament. He surpassed Gabriel Batistuta's record to become Argentina's all-time World Cup top scorer. He won his 2nd Golden Ball. And in the most dramatic World Cup final ever played, Argentina defeated France 4-2 on penalties, after a breathtaking 3-all draw that had the entire world holding its breath.
Que quería cerrar mi carrera con esto, ya no puedo pedir nada, la verdad que me encanta el fútbol, me encanta lo que hago y obviamente que quiero seguir viviendo unos partidos más siendo campeón del mundo.
Lionel Messi, finally beautifully, was a world champion. The story felt complete. The fairy tale had its ending. The boy from Rosario had climbed the highest mountain. Most people assumed he would walk into the sunset and let the legend rest. Messi had other ideas. He extended his contract with Inter Miami through 2028. He returned to the national team, but with the same hunger that has defined every chapter of his career. And in South American World Cup qualifying, he scored 8 goals to help Argentina secure their place at the 2026 tournament, topping CONMEBOL qualifying before the final rounds were even complete. No farewell tour, just Messi doing what Messi does. Now he stands at the edge of something no player in the modern era has ever reached. FIFA World Cup 2026 kicks off on June 11th, hosted across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And on June 24th, his 39th birthday, Lionel Messi could be stepping onto a World Cup pitch. If he does, he becomes the first man in football history to play in 6 different World Cups, a record held only by Brazil's Marta in women's football. 6 tournaments, 6 chances, 1 man. But there is a mountain in the way that no one has climbed in 64 years. No team has successfully defended the World Cup title since Brazil in 1958 and 1962. Since then, defending champions have been eliminated early in 6 consecutive tournaments. France went out in the group stage in 2002. Italy crashed out in 2010. Spain in 2014. Germany in 2018. And France, beaten by this very Argentina side in the 2022 final.
Messi. Oh, lovely. Delightful. Alvarez. Here's McAllister. Di Maria is the spare man. Angel Di Maria. Glorious goal. Argentine goal.
Went out in the quarterfinals in Qatar as the previous holders. The curse of the defending champion is one of football's most brutal statistics. Every champion who arrived with that golden target on their back left with nothing but questions. And Argentina know it. But this Argentina team is not just Messi, Julian Alvarez, the striker who never stops running, Enzo Fernandez, the engine in midfield, Alexis McAllister, composed, dangerous, relentless, Lautaro Martinez, a finisher with ice in his veins, Emiliano Martinez, the goalkeeper who turns penalty shootouts into performance art, a squad built to win again. Argentina opened their 2026 campaign against Algeria on June 16th in Kansas City. A squad full of hunger, a coach in Lionel Scaloni who has built one of the most cohesive national teams in world football, and leading them, a 38-year-old man who has already proved every doubter wrong on every stage. They say the greatest stories end twice, once when they happen, and once when you finally understand what they meant. Messi already gave the world his ending in Qatar, but he is not done writing. Because for him, this is not about trophies or records anymore. This is about one truth. The boy from Rosario still has one more game to play. Across Argentina, across the football world, you can feel it. The father lifting his son onto his shoulders. The old man in Buenos Aires pressing his hands together. They all know what this moment is. The FIFA World Cup 2026, 48 teams, 104 matches. 3 nations hosting it together for the very first time, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, if the stars align, if the body holds, if destiny has one more scene left to write, Lionel Andres Messi will pull that sky blue and white shirt over his chest one final time and give this world one last, unforgettable, breathtaking gift. The last dance has already begun.